it again. It says, "Fancy meeting you here." Before I get into this game, I just want to say I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, or if you do a different holiday, I hope you had a nice holiday. It's been a weird year. I hope everyone had a safe and happy holiday. Alright, so first of all, fins up, baby. Fins up, baby. Let's go. That game last night was, the last 4 minutes of that game was bananas. It was crazy. Look, I thought that Vegas had it, and then I thought Miami had it, and then I thought Vegas had it, and then Fitzmagic came through clutch, and the Raiders defense collapsing came in clutch too. But the Miami Dolphins defeated the Las Vegas Raiders last night 26-25. And the last 4 minutes was crazy. It was bananas. With 4:01 left in the game, Jason Sanders, the Dolphins kicked a field goal to tie the game, and I was like, oh dang, because they had it first and goal on the 4-yard line, I think. So I was like, okay, we gotta get a touchdown here, take the lead. And they couldn't. There was a drop. There was a big drop on the 1-yard line, and the Dolphins ended up settling for a field goal, and that tied the game at 16. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But then, not even 30 seconds later, Nelson Aguilar scored on an 85-yard touchdown to take the lead, and I was like, that was when I thought maybe Vegas is gonna win this, because that was with 3:37 left. With 3:37 left, Aguilar scored on an 85-yard touchdown, and I was like, dang. But then they missed the extra point, so I was like, okay, it's only a 6-point game. Fitzpatrick came in the game in the fourth quarter, and was moving the ball a little bit better downfield than Tua was. He was efficient with his completion percentage, and he didn't throw any interceptions, didn't turn the ball over, anything like that, but he was only getting averaging, I think, 4 yards a pass. So they brought in Fitzmagic to finish the game, and Myles Gaskin then scored on a 59-yard touchdown pass from Fitzpatrick, and that was with 2:55 left. Then we kicked the extra point, took the lead by 1, 23-22, and I was like, okay, I like where we're at, because we got the lead with under 3 minutes left. Our defense comes through clutch, and we could hold on to this lead. Well, then there was a 49-yard pass interference penalty on Byron Jones, and I was like, I was thinking that was kind of a bogus call. He did have his hand on Aguilar's shoulder, but he didn't really, I don't think he really did much to it. I was like, that's kind of a ticky-tack call. Of course, I'm a little biased, but I thought that was ticky-tack. So they went all the way down the field then on that 49-yard penalty, and they started working on the clock. And instead of scoring, they had a chance to score a touchdown. Instead of scoring a touchdown, Josh Jacobs went down on the 1-yard line, and Miami ended up using all their timeouts, and sideline. So my man Fitzmagic is getting his head ripped off, and then he's like, boom, throws it 40 yards downfield, busted coverage, the dude's wide open, catches it, falls out of bounds, 15-yard penalty on top of that. So that ended up being a 49-yard play in and of itself, and then Jason Sanders came on, kicked the game-winning field goal with 1 second left. Miami wins the game 26-25. We stay alive for the playoffs, and the Raiders are eliminated. Absolutely insane ending of that game. I could not believe it. Alright, let's take a look at some numbers here. For the Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa. He was 17 of 22 for 94 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions for a QBR of 63.6 and a rating of 99.4. That's not bad. Like 17 of 22 is really good, but the 94 yards, not so much. It's only 4.3 yards per completion. So he was having a little bit of trouble getting it downfield. No problems on the checkdowns, but then they brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he went 9 of 13 for 182 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions for a QBR of 92.3 and a rating of 137.5, and just like the craziest, most insane completion I've ever seen before in my life. Rushing the ball, Myles Gaskin carried the rock 14 times for 87 yards. Myles Gaskin, underrated. Myles Gaskin is very underrated, a hidden gem. I think he was the last running back in the draft taken 2 years ago, right? He also had 5 receptions for 82 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that last one, that 59-yarder. That put him ahead late in the game. Gesicki had 4 receptions for 54 yards. For the Las Vegas Raiders, Derek Carr was 21 of 34 for 336 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions for a QBR of 56.5 and a rating of 104.5. Josh Jacobs carried the rock 13 times for 69 yards. Nelson Aguilar had 5 receptions for 155 yards and a touchdown. Have a day. Nelson Aguilar. Darren Waller had 5 receptions for 112 yards. He made a couple of spectacular catches as well. He's really good. But Miami improves to 10-5, and Vegas falls to 7-8 and is eliminated from the playoffs. There were 2 other Saturday games in the NFL this week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Detroit Lions 47-7. A massacre. I don't even think Tom Brady played the second half at all. And his stats, like if you look at his stats, you don't think that he only played half the game. He was 22 of 27 for 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions for a QBR of 98.5, and a perfect passer rating of 158.3. Blaine Gabbert played the second half, 9 of 15 for 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for a QBR of 73 and a rating of 131.4. But those numbers are just silly for one half of football. 348 yards and 4 touchdowns for one half of football is bananas. Vaughn carried the rock 15 times for 62 yards. Mike Evans had 10 receptions for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chris Godwin had 5 receptions for 84 yards and a touchdown. Rob Gronkowski had 2 receptions for 58 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tampa Bay clinches a playoff spot at 10-5. They improved to 10-5. Detroit falls to 5-10. Matt Stafford did not play in this game. He played the first series. Kind of rolled his ankle and did not come back in. Detroit's a mess. Also on Saturday, the San Francisco 49ers defeated the Arizona Cardinals 20-12, despite some kicking problems from Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould was not gold yesterday, but it didn't cost him the game. So CJ Beathard receptions for 92 yards. For the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray was 31 of 50 for 247 yards, no touchdowns, one interception for a QBR of 62.3 and a rating of 66. He also carried the rock 8 times for 75 yards. Christian Kirk had 7 receptions for 76 yards. Tough day for the Arizona Cardinals. They're in trouble now. They need Chicago to lose, right? I think if Chicago wins this week and next week, then they're in because they got the tiebreaker. So that was a really bad loss for Arizona. They could be in trouble. They could definitely miss the playoffs now. On the Christmas Day game, the New Orleans Saints took care of business against the Minnesota Vikings. Alvin Kamara went off. If you have Alvin Kamara on your fantasy team, it's a wrap. It's a wrap like Christmas, yo, for real. He had 22 carries for 155 yards and 6 touchdowns. The man had 6 touchdowns. That's like a high school stat line right there. 155 yards and 6 touchdowns. Yeesh. Drew Brees was 19 of 26 for 311 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a QBR of 80.4 and a rating of 80.8. Emmanuel Sanders had 4 receptions for 83 yards, but Alvin Kamara, really, the story there. For the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins was 27 of 41 for 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for a QBR of 67.2 and a rating of 110.9. Dalvin Cook carried the rock 15 times for 73 yards and a touchdown. Adam Thielen had 8 receptions for 97 yards and a touchdown. Minnesota falls to 6-9. New Orleans improves to 11-4. about some hopes? How about some hopes? Alright, I'm not going to get too in depth on the hopes, but my early reaction to the NBA, Brooklyn is scary. Brooklyn is very scary. The Lakers look good. The Nets look good. The Warriors look bad. The Warriors look I mean the Warriors look like awful. The CJ McCollum and James Harden put on a show last night. I think they each dropped 44. And in overtime win that the Portland Trailblazers got, but yeah, they put on a show last night, and I'm excited. I'm excited that basketball's back. Russell Westbrook with with his new team, he dropped back-to-back triple-doubles in his first 2 games, but they're 0-2, so not good. Not a good start for Washington, although Russ did put up some good numbers. It's not good if you don't get the win. Let's see what else. The Boston Celtics. I mean, that's my team. We need Kemba. We need Kemba back badly. And if the Celtics trade Jaylen Brown for James Harden, I will cry. I will cry. I really hope they don't do that. But yeah, Boston. I'm a little bit worried about Boston. We need Kemba back. The Warriors look like trash. The Lakers look good. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for the NBA season. The Christmas games none of the Christmas games were that close. The Nets took care of the Celtics 123-95. Boston kept it close until halftime, and then the second half, KD and Kyrie. I mean, that's just a scary combination. And they got scores like Karis LeVert coming off the bench, and Spencer Dinwiddie really hasn't even done anything yet. So the Nets are very scary. I'm getting the first seed. I got them getting the first seed in the East for the playoffs. The Miami Heat defeated the New Orleans Pelicans 111-98. Miami looks pretty good as well. The Bucks beat the Warriors 138-99. Beat the brakes off the Warriors. The Lakers beat the Mavs 138-115. Dallas is missing Kristaps. Dallas is really missing Kristaps. It's clear that Luka cannot do it all by himself. So they need Kristaps back now. And let's see, the Clippers beat the Nuggets 121-108 on Christmas Day. So those were all the Christmas games. And then Trae Young, Ice Trae Young. He dropped back-to-back like 35-point games. I think he had like 37 one game and 36 the other game maybe. He looks good. Ja Morant's balling out early, although the Grizzlies aren't winning. Philly beat up on New York. The 76ers beat the Knicks last night 109-89. Yeah, that Portland Houston game was an instant classic. 128-126. Portland won it in overtime. For the Rockets, James Harden he dropped 44 points 17 times and 4 rebounds. So 17 times from James Harden. And they still lost. Is the thing. Christian Wood had a good game, 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 dimes. For the Trailblazers, though, CJ McCollum dropped 44 points, 3 rebounds, made like 105 threes in a row at practice. They need him to do that in the game. They need him to do that and get into that zone in the game. I think he shot like 2 of 10. I think it was like 2 of 10 from 3. The Warriors as a team on Christmas, they were 10 of 45 from 3. You ain't gonna win any games shooting 10 of 45 from 3. Not one. You will not win one game if you shoot 10 of 45 from 3 as a team. So, Steph Curry need to show up in a game, not in practice doing that. I mean, that was crazy. It was 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes straight of just him catch and shoot in the corner. 105 threes in a row. That's bananas, but show me in a game. We know he's capable of doing it in a game. His back-to-back MVP seasons, he was doing stuff like that. So